Hello, my name is Terry Bale, and I've written things. And this one is another letter. I write down ideas and then send it to somebody and to a friend. It helps to have a friend in mind. I better just read it to you. I've called it Focus. And I see that it was written on July 16th, 2018. And it's July 19th, 2025. So I guess that's about 7 years ago. And that was neat. I only just saw it after I got clear here. I wanted to show you. I found this. It's got woods all around, and but it's wanting to rain, so I found this shed. So I've a shed with bicycles, but shovels and whatnot. So anyway, I better just read this. It's called Focus. I wrote a letter to a dear family friend, telling of a neat mini adventure I'd had. Then, before I sent it, I copied the adventure part to share with others, like you. I hope you enjoy it. Terry. So, here goes the letter. Well, you see, I had to run an errand out toward Saxon. That's about half-hour away. And on the way back, I stopped by the historical landmark on the south side of the highway. It was about 10 a.m. and bright and sunny. Springtime, because the grass was only 6 to 10 inches tall. So I got out to look around, and I read the plaque there about the mining long ago. Then I stood at the edge of the pavement, looking south over the grassy pasture of the gentle hills, with a farm behind some trees in the distance. And you can guess, I was thanking God for it all, and just blessed at the beauty and the interconnectedness of it all. Hills, cows, farm, earth, sky, God. And I fit in there too this time. Next page. Well, I was looking at it all. As I was looking at it all, a bright gleam of light got my attention. You see, from where I stood, the grassy pasture land sloped gently downward. Let's see if I can sketch it. It won't do it justice, of course, but it might help. And here I'll try to show you what a picture looked like. There's the picture I drew. With where I stood is the X close by on the edge of the pavement. What it was, a stopover. What do you call it? Wayside, sort of, a place where you can read what history was like there. And the grass sloped downward toward those, and upward again, I think a little, toward the fence I drew. And then onward, the sloping hills. And more trees in the background. I didn't draw all the trees. And a farm. But you see, I stood near the X that's close at hand, and then over to the left is another X, what I saw there. And then there's an arrow that points to the right where I had parked our van on the pavement. So I'll try to read the rest. Well, should I turn back to look at me? Well, I stood there, the middle X, and my car was way over there, to the right. But the gleam of light came from over there to the left, down in the dip, between the near edge of the grass and the fence post further away. It gleamed and kept gleaming, flashing like a sunlight reflection of a paring knife. It was so bright. Oh, dew, I thought. But the grass at my feet was all dry. So I watched it a bit. Lord, what's up here? What's going on? Then I saw that bit of grass was a taller bit, right where one tall blade bent in half next to another tall blade, like this. Oh, and I show it. Maybe I better. There. See, that looks like an upside down 4. Yeah, it crossed over. And let's see. Like this, and there's that picture. Not nearly so thick as that, but you got the idea. I'll put a little X in the field. I only wish I could make it look slightly downhill. The little X is where that was, the blades of grass. But with that special shape, the upside down 4, I could keep track of it as I headed down there to see what was up. I counted my steps, about 40. But when I got down there and stooped down, there was no dew, nor nothing. All the grass was dry, and there was nothing special about the blades I'd come to see either. And there was no gleam. I'd lost track of it. I'd lost track of watching it as I'd come down, 'cause in rough ground you gotta watch your step. Well, if it isn't water reflecting the sunlight, maybe I'm not at the right angle. So I shifted around back and forth to try all the possible angles between the grass blades and my standing position back behind me. Nothing. It's all just normal dry grass. But what if it is a matter of focus? Maybe the grass took the sunlight and focused it on my position up there. Could be. So I carefully backed up, always keeping my eyes in the line between these particular grass blades and my place back up there. And they never looked any different until I got back up where I'd been. Then, there it was, that bright gleam again. Wow! So it must be a matter of focus. Wow, Lord. Thanks for showing that to me. So neat. And so I finished out what break time I figured I could take, 10 minutes or so, talking with the Lord. Why be alone when you can talk with Him? And then I got in the van and headed home. But I started sentences, but I crossed out the words. Well, then 2 things came to mind. One was, I wonder how many lessons and discoveries we miss as we travel miles and miles on the highway without getting out to be part of God's wondrous creation called reality. Reality, even. We zoom by it, sealed up in our vehicles, or store ourselves away in a closet called a house. Lord help us. And then, thinking about that blaze of light and how there were millions upon millions of grass blades in that field that were not shining, but all being just normal-looking grass, it suddenly hit a connection with another idea that I'd recently been thinking about. God does that, you know. He sees what you're thinking about and arranges circumstances to supply the answer, or just to give you another perspective to see it from, or just to give you or hands you parallels to consider how they might apply. God talks weird, but wonderfully. How a God, friend, father would. God/friend/father. How he would. A smiley face. So suddenly I saw a parallel, because just the day before this, I found it later on my calendar when I went to see, was it the day before? Yeah. Just the day before this, I had seen that Samuel, that's our 3rd youngest, and our 7th child. I had seen that Samuel, he was about 18 or 19 at the time, was wrestling with a question, or some decision he had to make, that had been on his mind for days. So, being Mom, I shared with him what I do when I've got one of those things. Now here I'll just be honest and say stuff. Let's see, what time is it? I'll stop and start again, okay? Thanks, bye.